Hi guys, God bless you all. Hope you're having a blessed Sunday. I'm going to go for about 30 minutes. I'm going to break down why Alcaraz just beat Zverev, and it's great for my book. It's definitely great for my book. And I'm going to tell you why he won in 5 sets. It was crazy that in 4 of the 5 sets, it was 4-2 at one point. 45 is when Hitler died. Zverev, he has the same birthday as Hitler. 45 is when World War II ended. And all the 42s that connect to war, connected to the Georgia Guidestones. In play, this was a really hard game to code, but Zverev only had one big thing, and it was the 186. To stay on 186 losses, but the 187, if you watched my stream yesterday with Chuck, the more you do this, the longer you do this, the better you get. You see what numbers are really associated with certain players from certain nations and things like that. I find it interesting that Zverev has the 420 birthday, and Boston Celtics play Dallas today. They have 420 playoff wins. Now I've coded that game. It's all on my website. It's just how it's all connected. It really is all connected. For example, this was Zverev's 127th Grand Slam game. And if Dallas lose, they drop to 12-7 in the playoffs this season. Buildings 1, 2, and 7 of the World Trade Center, they came down on 9/11. So let me break this down. God bless you, Benjamin and Emmanuel. Anfield Road End. Woo, the nature boy. Ric Flair. Okay, jet flying, limousine riding, kiss stealing, wheeler dealing. All right, that lifestyle is obviously promoted by the devil. But I did used to like Ric Flair, who, by the way, was the leader of the 4 Horsemen. Now, never in my wildest dreams did I believe I would become a decoder with a YouTube channel talking about the 4 Horsemen in connection with the Bible and then relating it to WWE. Just been a wild ride, guys. A wild rise. So Zverev, he went down 1-0 and it looked like it was done looking at the odds, because Alcaraz became like 1-8, I think. And then it was 1 set all. And then Zverev, he won the 3rd set. He won 5 games in a row. 5 games in a row. And we always hear about this momentum. I don't agree with it. Not in professional sports. I don't agree with it. It's just the code. And then in the 4th, Alcaraz won 4 games in a row. He took a 4-0 lead. And then he never looked back after that. And he became like plus 200. I want to say well done to Thomas Lockwood. He's a really close friend. He took Alcaraz. Oh, you can't see it, can you? He took Alcaraz 3-2 at 7-2. I don't know if you saw that. Because a lot of my code for Alcaraz was about the number 5. So he won in 5 sets, which is crazy. Crazy. And what I'm saying, so Benjamin said that game was intense. And it was. Anytime it goes to 5 sets, it's intense. But when you watch these matches, right, it's not man. Can somebody give me an amen in the chat? I watched a lot of this. I don't usually watch sports. I watched this. It was at 6 a.m. my time. I get up early. Thought, let me watch this, because I really do like tennis. Like, football's number 1 for me, then tennis. And some of the shots are so incredible, like unbelievable, that you can't rehearse them. And then you see some of the mistakes. And I guess that's why people like watching tennis. It's very similar in golf. Somebody will hit a like 300-yard drive and be on the green and 3-putt. And you're like, what just happened there? But you see some of those shots, and the more I've done this, All right. The more I know it's not man behind it. They're involved. And because I know the code so well, that's why I have the hit rate that I have for 4 years. But there's a chance they're aware of the black magic. There's a chance that they've given themselves to the devil. And there's also a chance that they have no idea. And it's just our coded reality. So I know that I'm never going to get to the bottom of that, but I will keep exposing the code. So Riddler, God bless you, brother. God bless you. Give me a woo if you're ready for this code. I can't wait to add it to my book. My upcoming book will be done after the NBA Finals and the Stanley Cup Finals. And then I'm not adding anything to it. So let's go. Riddler with a woo. All right, Men's French Open Final. Just know I coded Swiatek perfectly yesterday from Poland to win her third French Open in a row, all connected to war. We know Hitler invaded Poland, which triggered World War II. Here we go. The 2024 French Open Men's Singles Championship will feature 2 top 5 ranked players. 3rd ranked Carlos Alcaraz takes on 4th ranked Alexander Zverev on Sunday. All right. Garros in Paris is where it took place, Roland Garros. In France, and it says both players were tested in their semi-final matches on Friday. Zverev, he defeated Casper Ruud, and he did that in 4 sets. And then Alcaraz, he stunned Sinner and defeated him in 5. Now, 5 was the big number here with Alcaraz. So I put this, I'll just read it out and then I'll tell you what happened. Carlos Alcaraz became the youngest male player to reach major finals on all 3 surfaces. And I said he can stay on 3 losses on clay this year. And I said that he has this Hitler and 9/11 riddle. So Zverev, he came into this French Open final with 186 all-time losses. I coded him during this tournament. And remember, I said Djokovic would get injured whilst he was 18-6 for the year, and he got injured. That's just incredible. All right. I coded Djokovic to win and to become 18-6, and he did. And then in the next game, it was a walk-off. He got injured. And I saw in the game, which I coded him to win, that commentators kept saying he looks injured, there's Novak. I was like, okay, they're setting him up to get injured in the next game. Now, 186 is really big because 9/11 took place exactly 18 years and 6 months after COVID-19 was declared a global pandemic. And, you know, USA, founded 186th day of the year. Well, Zverev's German, and we know that the Euros in Germany are going to start on Trump's birthday, who I think will be the next US president. And 186 is it connects to light as well, because the speed of light is 186,000 miles per second. And the way that these tennis players get around the court is unbelievable. How quick they are, how agile they are, how much speed they generate when they serve. It's mind-blowing that you can even return those serves. As Thiago Silva returned to Fluminense, yeah, that'll be to do with the Copa America. I'll be coding the Copa America, Lucas. I don't know if you're on my website. I'll be coding that. Not every game, but I'll be looking into it. Now, this was Zverev's 127th all-time Grand Slam game. Buildings 1, 2, and 7 of the World Trade Center came down on 9/11. Now, if this was any other player, I would have coded Zverev to win because of the 186. But because he's German, and I know the 187s with Hitler, and I know Zverev has the same birthday as Hitler, I was like, I'm going 187 here. But it's definitely a game that you look to cover and be smart on, because we know how big 186 is in my community. But the 187 with a German, that's why I went with Alcaraz. Now, Alexander Zverev was born on Adolf Hitler's birthday, and he can get his 187th all-time loss. Adolf Hitler equals 187. So does Society of Jesus, and we know that they worship the sun. So for him to get his 187th career loss on a Sunday was something that stood out to me as well. Now, I'm almost certain that Hitler was a Jesuit, no different to the Pope. All right, he was working for the order. Can somebody give me a woo if you agree? Hitler was just working for the order, who ultimately worked for Satan. Now, Mein Kampf is a 1925 autobiography manifesto by Nazi Party leader Adolf Hitler, and it was published on 18/7. All right, the 18th of July, 187. Now, the Georgia Guidestones came down on the 187th day of 2022 on George Bush's birthday, who was the 43rd US president, and he was the US president during 9/11, and this final was 4th seed against 3rd seed, and he was the 43rd president. How crazy that the Georgia Guidestones came down on 7/6 on George Bush's 76th birthday. They came down 42 years after they were erected. And that's why I was posting on my website. I was like, oh my word, all these sets are going 4-2. 4 out of the 5 were 4-2. And more often than not, when you take a 4-2 lead at this level, you win the set. More often than not, especially if you're a top player. 43 is the 14th prime number. Carlos Alcaraz just won his 14th title. Now, the Pope was born with 14 days left in the year. The Georgia Guidestones came down on 7/6 on George Bush Jr.'s 76th birthday. And Carlos Alcaraz can get his 7th win of this year's French Open. And Zverev can stay on 6 wins. See, that's 76. 7 times 6 is 42. Just all these 42s, man. Carlos Alcaraz. Now check this out. Please hit the like button for this next bit. Please do me that favor. Hey, Satanic Hope. It's been a while. Listen to these numbers to see why he won in 5. Why Thomas Lockwood bet on Alcaraz to win 3-2, to win in 5 sets. And I'm sure a few other people on my website who are really smart, they do those things without me having to tell them everything. Like, that's why I like the minds on my website. Now, listen to this. Carlos Alcaraz can become 25-5 for the season with a win. And George Floyd died on 25-5. Okay? Georgia Guidestones in my code. George Bush in my code. Just crazy. Absolutely crazy. But what gets even crazier, guys, we know he died, George Floyd, whilst Trump was the president, who's connected to everything. I think that's why I'm hitting every code. I think I missed one code this week. I got one code wrong, as far as I'm aware. Because it seems to be building up to Trump, because the Euros begin on his birthday. I've written a book about him. Now, so you've got Alcaraz becomes 25-5 for the season. You've got George Floyd dying on 25-5. Zverev was born on a day leaving 255 days left in the year. So what a perfect player to get their 25-5 record against. 25 square root is 5. 5 times 5 is 25. Carlos Alcaraz can get his 5th win versus Zverev. Now check this out. Carlos Alcaraz was born on 5-5. And he just became 5-5 all time versus Zverev in what was their 10th head-to-head meeting. Satan equals 55 and 10, and 55 is the 10th Fibonacci and triangular number. So when Alcaraz went up 1-0, like 10, that was a good sign. But it was tough in play, this, because the 42s obviously connect to War, and Zverev's German. 5, okay, 5, all in my code, and he wins in 5 sets. And if you actually look in the 5th set, what was the score? It was the 2-6 or 6-2, because this connects to the Queen. And I'll show you that later in the stream. Now, 5 is the 3rd prime. And Alcaraz, I told you, he became the youngest male player to reach major finals on all 3 surfaces. And he just stayed on 3 losses on clay. If you think about it, he just won 3 sets. In the 5th set, he won his 3rd set, 5 the 3rd prime. Elizabeth coronated in 53. 53 is the 16th prime. Zverev dropped to 16-4 on clay in 2024. 16, the square root is 4. Zverev looked really good in this game halfway through it. But I was looking at the body language of your boy Alcaraz, and he looked like he had no worries in the world, even when he was down 2-1, even when he lost 5 games in a row. He kept nodding at his coach as if to say, "Yeah, we're good." So that's what I'm saying. It's like sometimes it feels like they know they're going to win, but then you see their emotion. Like if you watch the way Zverev was reacting when he got a point, or for example, when there was a few occasions, because it's on clay, where it looked like he'd won the point and then they said it was out, or they said it was out and then they checked it and it was on the chalk. And there was some controversial decisions by the umpire here. And you just see the reactions. You see them dripping with sweat. But then you're like, how can I predict that Djokovic was going to get hurt? And all the other stuff that I do. Like, if I can predict it, surely some of these know. Or they're aware of it. That's the big thing for me. It's like, if this normal lad who grew up in England, went to move to the States, just a regular guy, never been famous, wasn't a pro or anything, wasn't into black magic, wasn't part of an occult, if I'm able to put this together day in, day out, surely they've got to be aware somewhat. Some of them have to be. Joseph, God bless you, my brother. Joseph's here. Please subscribe to his channel, guys. Joseph Aquaviva 222. Sometimes I feel like I don't say enough 2s, or I say too many 2s, especially in the morning. Check out his work, please. Chelsea equals 53, which gets you 8 in numerology. Tiago Medeiros de Silva equals 99. 9 plus 9 is 18. Or 71 in Chaldean. Cipher equals 8. Fluminense equals 53. Yeah, I don't use much gematria, but it is interesting, and it's definitely very valid when you use it, and then you use the numerology with it as well. But do any of you guys speak Spanish? Even if you don't, you should know this. Riddler's saying to hit the badass like button. Yeah, please do that for me, guys. It's definitely helping me. I've told you, Joseph played a big role in me increasing my audience, which is what I want to do, not for my own personal gain, just to get this information out there. So Carlos actually translates to Charles, and I've shown you how this Carlos Alcaraz connects to King Charles. I've shown you over and over again that, and we know Spain have a royal family just like England. Now check this out. This was the French Open. And Charles was married to Diana, Princess Diana. She died in Paris, France, where Charles just won the French Open, right? Now, I showed you the 9/11 numbers here. And King Charles actually visited Paris, France in 2023. He visited Paris, France on September the 20th. It says, on September the 20th, 2023, notice that 20 plus 23 is 43, and it was 4th seed against 3rd seed, which was in my code. King Charles and his wife, Queen Camilla, arrived at Paris Orly Airport and were greeted by Prime Minister Elizabeth Bourne. Elizabeth, the name of his mother. Like, come on. Now, I did the duration from when King Charles arrived in Paris to this French Open final. 8 months and 20 days. Guys, 9/11 began at 8:20 a.m. And 8 months and 20 days is 263 days. 263 is the 56 prime number. And Charles went to Paris on the 263rd day of the year. And he was coronated on 5/6, one day after Carlos Alcaraz's birthday. And when he went to France, it was on a day leaving 102 days left in the year, and 9/11 lasted 102 minutes. And Alcaraz has just won the French Open 8 months and 20 days after Charles visited Paris, and 9/11 began at 8:20. And he did it in Zverev's 127th Grand Slam game, and buildings 1, 2, and 7 came down on 9/11. And he's done it on 6/9. Queen Elizabeth equals 69, and she was coronated exactly 69 weeks after she became the queen. So jaw-dropping is what I have to say. And when I say this, I'm not trying to pat myself on the back. I just find this stuff jaw-dropping. And all those 5s that were in the code for him to win, well, he just won a span of 1 year and exactly 5 weeks after Charles was coronated. 15 is the 5th triangular number. So what we're going to say about all of this, like, it is mind-blowing. It really is. And I've said for a while, I don't think I'm ever going to not be shocked by this code. I don't think I'm going to ever get bored of it. Like, it's almost like the better you get, the wilder it all gets. I just want more and more people to see it, because this is just mental. Okay? Charles was born in 48, and Charles Alcaraz has stayed on 48 losses in his career. Like, so like I said, I was going to keep this short. To everyone who's on my website and all these new people signing up, I am very grateful. I think for what I provide for $10 is literally unmatched anywhere on the internet. For what I provide for $10 and my community, not just me. I do appreciate you. So, oh my word, I've just realized it's just hit me now. He won 5 days before the Euros begin. I'll have to put that in my book. Let me just type that now. He just won 5 days before Trump's birthday. Because it begins on 6/14, doesn't it? Let me just write that down. He won the French Open. Oh no, there we go. I'll put this. He won the French Open 5 days before Euro 2024 begins in Germany, and he beat a German in the final. Now, I wonder if that means Germany get to the final or Spain get to the final. Who knows? It's so hard this. So if it's good for England because of the Charles connections, I don't know. But I told you recently that I am actually excited to code the Euros. I believe the 4 years of work is going to be revealed there. I'm not going in there. I'm not going to be telling you all I'm 80%, 90%. If I am, great. I'm going to expose this tournament like never before. Because everything building up to it, whether it was the Premier League, the Super Bowl, what's going on right now in the NBA Finals, it's all the numbers that I always talk about. They're all there. They're just all there, and they're all revealing themselves. So I am good for Celtics with Alcaraz coming in 18-5 prior to the French Open. Oh, are you sure about 18-5 in what capacity? Because Boston Celtics are 17-5 in NBA Finals. I don't disable any comments. Season record. Wait, good for Celtics with Alcaraz coming in 18-5 prior to the French Open. Why is that good? No, comments haven't been disabled, brother, on the website. I just responded to tons of them. But what do you mean by the 18-5 season record? Yeah, I know he's saying Celtics will win. Loads of people are like Dallas. Boston have remarkable numbers yet again. But I'm confused where he's going with the 18-5. Is he saying that they're going to become 18-5 in NBA Finals? That must be what he's saying, yeah? Because that's a great find. Yeah. Okay, so I woke up so early. Yeah, so what he's saying is if Boston win this year's NBA Finals, they're going to be 18-5 in NBA Finals. And he's saying that Alcaraz came in 18-5 prior to the French Open, which I didn't know. That's really interesting. Thank you for that. If Boston win tonight, they become, well, they get their 421st playoff win, which is the 82nd prime. And they can become 8-2 at home in the playoffs this year. If you go on pretty much anyone's Patreon today or whatever, they'll tell you that Dallas are going to win because of all the 41s and 13s they have, which, again, ain't going to be gobsmacked. NBA Finals are tough to code. But as far as I'm aware, Dallas can get their 41st win against Boston. Dallas equals 41. 41's the 13th prime. Dallas equals 13. They can get their 13th playoff win of the season. But I personally see a little bit more for Boston is what I see. And when it is in this situation, you guys can decide, okay, I'm going to go for this team. Maybe I'm going to cover the spread, alternate spread. I think with gambling, you have to watch it and you have to bet smart. To be honest, I'm not going to share my finds for Luca. They're on the website, but my finds for Luca today are absolutely ridiculous. So what I try and do, guys, is if there is a superstar like Luca, right? Give me a woo in the chat. I'm going to have to go in 5 minutes. My gums are causing me pain. When you come across a Luca Magic, all right, and you see that he's dominating, like what he's doing in the NBA is incredible. And what he does in the playoffs, like his statistics right now are like unmatched in the history of the NBA with what he's doing with his numbers. So when you see somebody like Luca is dominating, you're like, okay, why? He was 18-5 entering the French Open. Is that his French Open record? I'm a little bit confused. I know you know with clarity. I'm going to take a moment to just speak with Dharma Refuge here. So I understand what you're saying. Celtics can become 18-5 in NBA finals. Completely get that. All the fives that I gave you with Alcaraz. When you're telling me, okay, so he was 18-5 in the French Open all time, yeah? So I didn't actually look up that stat. Yeah, and now he's 25-5 for the season. Yeah. Right, I'm going to go to his ATP. Oh man. And I'm going to go to his statistics. Yeah, he came in 18-5 for the season. Yeah. Just say yes. Just hold it there with the comments. Carlos came into the French Open 18-5 for the season. He's now 25-5 because he won 7 games. We're all on the same page, yeah? Thank you. Yeah. So what he's saying, which I didn't catch, which I think is brilliant from Dharma. Yeah, thank you. So I've shown you that this game connects to the NBA Finals. What he's saying, and I'm talking to myself here because I think a lot of you already understand. Alcaraz came in to the French Open this season 18-5. And he's just won the French Open. And if Celtics win the NBA Finals, they become 18-5 all time. Thank you. Brilliant. Brilliant. And look, I'm responding to all these comments here, brother. That's awesome. So yeah, it's all connected, isn't it? And we know that Boston came into these NBA Finals. They're 17-5, which connects to 9/11. All right, because you had United Airlines Flight 175, and we know Dallas play at the United Airlines Arena. And check this out. I'm definitely going to need some moves here. I'm just gonna prove it to you once again that it's all revolved around everything that I've been showing you for 4 years. Boston come into these NBA Finals. They come in 17-5 against the team I've shown you for a long time, Dallas. Connect probably the most to 9/11 with their numbers. That's why their 2 big men are called the Twin Towers. All right. Lively and Gafford, they're called the Twin Towers. That's why they have Kyrie Irving. Number 11, you had Flight 11 on 9/11. You got Luca 77, Flight 77. Now, Boston come in 17-5. United Airlines Flight 175 was a domestic passenger flight from Logan International Airport in Boston to Los Angeles International Airport in California. That was hijacked by 5 Al-Qaeda terrorists on the morning of 9/11/2001. There's such a brilliant middle for Boston to win the NBA Finals 4-1 and win it in 5. There really is. Now, notice how it was a flight in Boston to LA. Now, which 2 NBA franchises have the most NBA championships? Boston and Los Angeles Lakers. Yeah, the 228's crazy, brother. Today's exactly 228 weeks after Kobe Bryant died. Remember the tournament Djokovic won, which I coded all about Kobe, and then he took his shirt off and he had a shirt underneath dedicating it to Kobe Bryant. And my whole code was about Kobe before the tournament began, when he won his 24th Grand Slam and he did it in USA. the US Open. But yeah, today is exactly 228 weeks. I put this on my website after Kobe died, and Alcaraz. This bit I didn't have, but Alcaraz just played his 228th career game, and it's why I'm connecting it to Luca, who was born 228. All right. Luca was born 228. Today is exactly 228 weeks after Kobe died. And the last game that Kobe watched as a fan in the Staples Center was the Lakers against Dallas, where Luca was playing. And you can go online and you'll see how Kobe's speaking with Luca, almost passing on a torch. So what I was saying about Luca is when these players just dominate, you've got to look into them. You've got to find out the numbers. I know how big 77 is. I know how big that is with God. So I was like, Slovenia, okay, that must connect to war. Luca, like Luke, like one of the disciples, and the Gospel of Luke. And I was like, oh my word, like, how does this guy who can barely run, looks like he's doing everything in slow motion, how's he knocking down 30 points every game? Do you know what I mean? Because I'm an athlete. I had a great workout this morning. Guys, I'm an athlete and I watch Luca. I know who's athletic. I'm a coach. I watch Luca. I don't see an athlete. That's why you never see him dunk or anything. Pretty much every NBA player can dunk. Don't really see him dunk, even though he can get to the basket so easily. And same with like Jokic. Obviously, Jokic can dunk. He just does that. But I don't see athletes in those players. So I'm like, why? Why are they so good right now? Yeah, he's just built different. His cheeks are like here, guys. His cheeks are out here. He's got these big puffy cheeks. He just does not look like he belongs in the NBA. Now, if you look at someone like Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Al Horford, Derek White, you look at them and you're like, okay, NBA players, elite athletes. You look at Luca, I'm not having it. I'm just not having it. And Dama, I just want to tell you this. I don't really know you. I think you're one of the best coders I've ever come across. I don't think we've ever had a direct relationship or email because I get so many emails. I believe you're one of the very best from what I see. There's only a handful of people where they make me go, wow. And pretty much every comment you leave, I go, wow. It's always interesting. And I can always find more when you send me these comments. So yeah, it's great stuff. It really is. Have you noticed that this is Boston's 23rd NBA Finals and Dallas's 3rd? Like 23-3, which is Jason Kidd's birthday and Kyrie Irving's birthday. 23-3, which, by the way, has a direct relationship with the number 13, which is probably Dallas's biggest number. Or maybe 41 is the biggest number. That's why they retired Nowitzki's 41 jersey. But yeah, it's Boston's 23rd NBA Finals and Dallas's 3rd. 233 is the 13th Fibonacci number, but it's Jason Kidd's birthday and Kyrie Irving. Now, what gets even crazier is that Kyrie Irving, his idol as a player, Jason Kidd. Yeah, that as well. Alcaraz is 7,707th day of his age. That 777. That 777, guys, which is God's number if you read my books. 777 is God's number. And I know Satan uses it as the jackpot in Sin City, doesn't he? See how he takes God's number, 777, and the average person thinks about a slot machine. Can I get a woo? If you ever ask me, what do you think of with 777? I'd be like Vegas, Sin City, slot machines, money. No, if you read my books, honestly, with the sevens, sevens number is good. Satan's is 6, as is man. But God's number is 7. What about Brady born in 77? It's just outrageous. Ancelotti's actually won 7 Champions League finals. 5 as a coach, 2 as a player. People forget that. He's actually lifted the trophy 7 times. 7 times. Which is just outrageous. Lightning and rock and roll bands. Yes, brother. What about all the sports sponsored by Gatorade, which is a lightning bolt? That is why I'm on your website, to contribute to community. Bro, yeah, I'm so grateful to people like you. There's so many now. There's at least like 40 great coders. I'm like, wow. And that was a big goal of mine at the beginning, to actually get a community. I stay off Discord. You always go through Discord at the beginning of the journey, because you want to find like-minded people. But what's hilarious is the word Discord means disagreement between people. Disagreement between people. That is the definition of Discord. And what I started realizing, when you're in these Discords, that's what the majority is. It's just people disagreeing, sharing codes, 30 different codes on one game. Like, for example, if you're on Discord now, there's going to be half of them all saying Boston are a lock, all in on Boston. And then there'll be the other ones saying Dallas, this is mega lock city. They're going to win. Luka's going to cover his prop. And then sometimes you'd find, because there are good coders in Discord, that they can take you off your pick. Or people will say this to you, like, I was on Dallas and you shared that incredible Boston code and they got beat. You took me off my pick. And you're like, I didn't take you off your pick. You chose. And that Discord comes in, that disagreement. So I thought, let me have a website where people actually care about one another. They share the insights and they're mature and responsible enough to go, all right, we've got all this information together. I'm going with this. Illusion's always going to put his codes out. He's going to share his insights when he can. But ultimately, I'm going to decide what I'm going to do. I didn't tell Thomas Lockwood to take Alcaraz to win in 5 sets. He said, I read your code. I saw the 5s. It made sense he was going to win it. I thought, there's no value in him to just win it. Let me take him to win in 5 sets. That was him. I'm not getting any credit for him deciding that, but I did provide the 5s. Maybe we should give each other a high five, eh? Yeah, 7 is that number of completion. That's why Brady retired with 7 rings. It is that number of completion. And it is, have you noticed my 2 favorite numbers? 11 like stands out. It's my favorite number, but then it's 7. And those 2 words rhyme with heaven. And notice Trump's going to get sentenced on 7/11, on July the 11th. And I know that is definitely something you can go, oh, he's reaching there. 7 and 11 rhymes with heaven. But it's just, for me, those numbers, I've always felt a connection, but 11, absolutely more than 7. So, yeah, concord is agreement and harmony. Yeah. So, yeah, thank you, guys. Thank you for watching this. I need to go. I've not ate anything. And I can't believe it's 11:35 when I got up at 6. How have I already been awake almost 6 hours? It don't feel like it. But I do have some carrot cake in the fridge. Can somebody give me a woo? I bought a carrot cake yesterday for my girlfriend and I. Put it in the fridge, completely forgot about it. It's like when you find like 20 quid in your back pocket of your jeans. And I opened the fridge, I was like, oh my word, the carrot cake. So I'm going to nibble on that. I'll tell you that. I'm going to nibble on that carrot cake with a cup of tea, baby. So yeah, again, guys, I appreciate you all. I really do. And please keep liking my videos, sharing them. You can support me in different ways. And my upcoming book's going to be done, like I said, by the end of the NBA Finals. By the end of June, I would say, easily. And then I'm going to try and do a book about the Euros. Euro 2024. Get them all together, read it. But once you get all my books together, which a lot of you have, once you get them all together, it's pretty undeniable stuff. If you just get one, okay, the Queen's life was coded. When you get them all, I'm not telling you to get them all, but you see, like, you can't really deny that we live in a coded reality and everything is connected. Like Dam has shown here that the NBA Finals connect with this French Open. And have you noticed that tennis? Thank you, Riddler. Tennis, the last three letters in reverse are sin, and the first three letters are 10, which is the number heavily associated with Satan in gematria. Have you ever noticed that with tennis? The last three letters in reverse is sin. And so often you get players who get this when they've won, especially, well, in men's tennis, you get that 666. It's not always that, because it can go to a tie break, but more often than not, when you win a set, you win 6 games. And usually these dominant players, especially in the earlier rounds, they win 3-0. It's like 6-1, 6-2, 6-1. It's like 6-6-6. It's just, yeah, I'll leave you with this. This is a great point. And again, this is not from me. Where is it? So there's a player called Demeanor, right? And his nickname is Demon. All right? His nickname is Demon. Can you believe that? Like, you can look it up. Alex Demeanor, I'll give you his name. Tennis player whose nickname is Demon. He's Australian. He has the same birthday as Michael Jordan, who was clearly possessed when he played basketball. And actually coded Zverev to beat Demeanor in the quarterfinal in a Church of Satan riddle, and he won 2-1, Zverev. His nickname's Demon. I remember sometimes I call Mbappe a speed demon, and that always makes me giggle. Yeah, and then Sinner, exactly. I've coded him. Sinner is the world #1 as of tomorrow. Sinner. His name's Sinner. He's Italian, where the Vatican is. Sinner. Tennis. And if you look at Sinner, if you look at his name, and then look at tennis in reverse. All right. If you look at Sinner in reverse, if you change the R to a T, it's tennis. Can I get a woo? Can you see that? So you've got Sinner, who's the world #1 in tennis. Now, if you put that in reverse, it will get you Venice. But if you change the R to a T, it literally gets you tennis. So, yeah. Yeah, it's the same in the UFC. I've coded a lot of UFC. I just don't like coding combat sports. It's the same in boxing. Everything. It's everything, including your own life. That's what's crazy. But yeah, boxing, MMA, UFC, it's all coded. Guys, I've coded wrestling, Royal Rumble winners, men and women's. All right? I think 30 competitors enter the Royal Rumble. I've done that 3 times now. Did you not watch my code about politics? That everything I predicted in politics has happened in 4 years. Politics is coded. Sports are coded. Deaths are coded. Your life is coded. The Bible's coded. Everything within our reality has a numerical code, which is not for debate. So, yeah, my name, The Illusion, is that society is an illusion that we've all agreed upon to be the truth. But the word of God is the truth. This world, that's why Jesus said, this is not my world. I'm not of this world. Satan's the God of this world, guys. The more you connect with Christ, the more you see through Satan, the more you see through the world, and you don't get as attached to it. Can I get a woo? You're not as attached. You can still be of the world. I'm going to enjoy my carrot cake with my girlfriend and a cup of tea. I'm going to enjoy it. Thank you, God, for this delicious carrot cake I'm about to consume. But once you see the light of God, you can expose the darkness. Satan's the God of this world, guys. He's behind all these pro sports, whether the players know it or not. He's behind these royal families, all right? And he uses people to lead people away from God. Like, people worship the royal family and athletes more than they do Jesus. Yeah, Djokovic, exactly. 18-6. Because he's injured, it doesn't affect his record. I didn't know he had 1,860 points this season. No way. So people getting injured in games is coded. Yeah, but I also believe there's genuine injuries and there's times where they fake them. I've seen it. All these miracle comebacks. Or maybe they do get hurt. I don't know how much power Satan has when it comes to that. But when you see somebody snap the leg, and then you do the code behind why they snapped it, the numbers are incredible. Nobody's going to intentionally get their leg snapped. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, I didn't know that Djokovic had that amount of points. So literally every point is coded. Every shot. But the key is, this is a big thing right before I go. And I'm going to ask you this. Yeah, Connor broke his ankle, wasn't it? And he was still talking, being cocky, giving it the big one. And his ankle was like broken. Just didn't seem right. I feel like Connor's giving himself to the devil. You know, Swiatek from Polish to English means Christmas, who just won the Women's French Open. It means Christmas. Yeah, his reaction didn't match the injury. Exactly. But you saw his ankle. You saw his ankle. To break the ankle, get beat, and to still be like that. Remember when Conor McGregor said, somebody asked him, like, do you believe in God? Do you respect God? He was like, of course I believe in God. And I respect him. And God respects me because gods respect other gods. He called himself a god. He said, yeah, I believe in God. I respect God. And God respects me. Gods respect one another. He said he was a god. He put himself on the same level as God. So somebody like Conor, we're told, is this Irish gypsy who grew up in Ireland with no money and a council estate. And I'm sure he was a talented fighter when he was younger. And then it's like, to get to where he was, I don't know what he's done. Yeah, he said he would whoop Jesus' ass in the octagon. It's blasphemy. It's pure blasphemy to say those type of things. Yeah, Neymar loves Jesus because he wears a bandana or a t-shirt telling you. Sure. Yeah, he does. He's got an inverted cross. And he wears the cross as fashion icons, like his earrings and stuff. Yeah, guys. I told you that they present themselves as angels of light, like Satan. That's what they do. You got to learn to see through it. Yeah. All of them, guys. Right, I definitely have to go. Yeah, I've never rated Neymar, ever. I've never thought he was world-class top 3, ever. There's some black magic on him. He was destined or chosen or whatever it was to get to where he was. Never rated him. to be like this top world-class, incredible player ever. So anyways, I'm going. Thanks for watching, guys. God bless you all. Take care, and keep going. Keep searching for the truth, which is in the Word of God. Enjoy your cake. Yes, I will. Let me go wake up my girlfriend. All right. Much love. Take care. God bless you all, and thank you again. Woo-hoo.